Yeah. Okay, brother man, can I put this here on?
Well,
please?
like I said, no, it's too late.
So no comment.
To be honest, I mean, I had no choice in that, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get the audio. It's one of the reasons you're here. The audio is quite different.
That's a good point. So yeah, fair point taken.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he's already on.
Oh yeah, booked and busy.
Hey.
Eager and beavering.
Okay, mic check.
Mic check.
Microphone check.
Cool, we live. So, yeah, once again, we're back with episode 17 of Why We're Not Recording This. Today, as always, myself, Katie, and I've got a guest. The name is Ghost, aka Rick. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Thank you. Blessings, peace, as always.
Yeah, as always, man. Like, I guess you probably, we didn't really get into why we invited you. To be fair, we never really get into why we have a certain
actually
guest.
don't.
Yeah.
Ever tell people why we invited them? we
Cheers for
just,
that.
we just like,
no, I was just thinking about it, really.
yeah.
Because I just think it's majority people that we think have got interesting sort of perspectives or interesting energy or something about them.
Yeah.
Or so we'd like to think.
Yeah.
So,
Or just questions left unanswered, from like past conversations.
Yeah.
Because it's never like the first time we ever sit down with you is on camera. It's always like
Yeah.
we either know them or we've had conversations with them, but then there's still questions that are like, when you're left
something-
curious.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, the
yeah,
inquisition begins.
Yeah, man. So yeah, welcome, bro.
Thank you for joining
I
us.
guess first things first. How are you, man? How's things? How's life treating you?
So.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment. No, it's just it's a funny one, really. I guess we have our good, ups and downs, and you take the rough with the smooth. You don't get too high when you're doing well, and don't get too down when you're low.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to find a balance. But I'm okay. How are you guys?
I'd say about the same, really, to a certain extent. I mean, because I feel like that was a good summary into just like how life actually is, depending on one's perspective. But no, like on my side, I'd say life is good, man. I'm appreciating everything, being grateful for it, and also just express myself in terms of do as I feel. As long as it's not to the expense of someone else, then approach it with love. Like, yeah, approach it with love.
Yeah.
Because when you approach it with love, well, my week anyway, it's like even the little things that could get you mad, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just life rolling.
Yeah.
So those are the lows or the highs or whatever. It's just like acknowledge it.
That's
And
nice.
yeah. So yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I am.
That's two nice answers. First of the table is very wobbly.
I love it.
But
Just like life.
just keeps you on your toes.
Touche.
I'm okay too.
Good.
Yeah. In observation mode. I think I've been there for the whole year. Just observing more than I'm trying to talk, even though it's hilarious that I say that, even though we started a podcast.
You're talking more. Well, okay.
Kind of a bit contradictory
But without
there,
out beyond the camera, just observing things a lot more. And then literally, how am I? Good. Had a nice day. Oh.
Yeah.
Ew. Had a good day. Cut my finger on a knife, but I have love heart plasters, so
Lovely. Sorry.
approach things with love.
Oh, right. Yeah. How funny that.
Yeah, and now I cut myself with a knife, but that's fine.
Like,
Not even in like a cool way. Like I was cleaning and washing the pots earlier, and
oh, that's how you cut it.
it's not like it could be really cool. Like no, I stopped a mugging from happening, and like I intercepted it with my hand, and the knife went through my finger. But no,
Yeah. No.
It's a middle finger
it's
as
a
well.
middle finger.
So approach it with love.
It's a real fuck you move. But yeah, I'm good. I'm all good. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's it. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But no, man. Rick, I guess I'm going to mix between the two names. But I guess...
Call me whatever you want, man.
Yeah. No. Because I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that. Like, Ghost. Where did it come from?
Oh,
If you don't
gosh.
mind me asking.
No, I didn't mention me before. Ghost. Well, it's the Holy Ghost first. That was the name, the moniker I went under. Where do I start? No, when I was about 16, 17, I was... No, I've got to start before then. First things
make the short story long.
I'm going to wreck the whole video. That's the first thing, because I'm terrible at explaining things.
That's so fine.
I have 54 different ideas and thoughts, 54. And I'm trying to
Why 54?
74.
All right,
whatever.
sorry,
a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll say when I was like 17, I was started making music, and one of the names. Well, not one of the names. The name that I gave myself was the Holy Ghost.
Okay.
And the reason, maybe this is the best way of describing it. The reason why I call myself the Holy Ghost is because, well, I guess it's down to perspective. If I say to, let's say, a Christian, "Oh, I'm called the Holy Ghost," I mean, they might be offended first of all, but let's say they're not offended.
Yeah, blasphemy.
Yeah. No, they might see it as a positive thing, you know. Somebody else might say, "Oh, the Holy Ghost, that sounds a bit creepy," or whatever, you know. And it is down to interpretation. But the reason why the Holy Ghost in particular is because, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'll say it. God, wow. Just have a quick break, is that right?
It's up to you, man.
No, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Say what you want to say. Don't say what you don't want to say. All this is conversation.
No.
Yeah.
No, it is what it is.
This is not an interrogation.
It is.
You're sweating. Don't worry. Say what you want to say.
No comment.
Do not incriminate yourself.
No, honestly, it's just, so, how can I describe this? So, when I was like 12, 13 years old, there used to be, I got two brothers, you know, my eldest brother, I don't think you've seen him actually. I don't think you've seen any of my brothers actually.
No, actually I think I've seen him once.
Right.
Recently.
Oh, no, you know, of course you know Ringo.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought, sorry.
No, Ringo was, he plays football with us, so.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, that's what I typically play football with on Sundays,
right.
and
Okay, I'm with you.
So, Sunday was our day where we used to like watch films and stuff. Me and my brother, and there was a girl at the time who was a family friend, you know. And we used to always watch films and whatever. We used to watch horror films and all that kind of stuff. You know, I think back in them days it was like Stephen King's It and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I swear they remade that recently.
Yeah. It's never as good as the original, is it though?
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah.
I don't
It never
do
is.
horrors.
It never is.
I just
I do
honestly
horrors.
good.
No comment.
Well, just to add a bit of context, my favourite film is The Exorcist.
Okay, so you like a...
So I'm into possession film. I just
So
watched,
it's the juxtaposition.
Well, what I would say is that we was only young, like, you know, and my brother had an idea to, let's do a Ouija board. I'm like, oh, hell no.
It sounds like the Bone Thugs.
Can I curse on here or not? Yeah. I'm just trying to be cautious. I don't want to.
I say yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Express yourself.
No, I'm not, I don't, yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, I was just like standoffish, like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. And he's like, oh, come on, stop being a whatever, you know, just let's do it. And she was the same, like, let's do it. I'm like, I'm not doing it. And anyway, they got the table there, and I remember sitting back on the window ledge, and I'm like thinking, what are you guys doing, you know? And they got this piece of paper, I think it was A1 or something, and they were like writing all the letters down. I'm thinking, what's happening here? I don't know enough about it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like to delve into things I don't know anything about. I'll have to do my research first and say, okay, well, I'll make an educated guess or a calculated guess.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So he's writing those things, yes and no, and they were just basically taking the mick, like asking silly questions and taking the mick, and nothing actually happened like what we would think. What would happen with a Ouija board? But I was very like standoffish. I was really uncomfortable, honestly, and you know they're like, oh, what's wrong with you? Nothing happened and whatever. But the funny thing is that from then onwards, imagine this: the house that we had was almost like. They were like smallish houses, but it was like 3 houses in one, really. You can go through all of them. So I was on this side of the house, like at the end. So let's say this is my bedroom here. You go outside, there's the stairs and this hallway there, mum and dad's bedroom behind me, and it goes into my brother's bedroom and so on. And I just really, really felt spooked out every night, like every night. Like every night. I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
I don't sleep. Like, what is sleep? But like, I'm thinking I'm spooking myself out here, you know, because of that kind of situation. I'm only young, in the head, yeah. But I would always look in that corner. I'd get this horrible feeling. You know that sense that you have. Like if I close my eyes now, I know you guys are here. Not because I can hear you, but I just know you're here. Yeah. I'd be looking in the corner where the window is there and my wardrobe is there, like my cabinet, you know. And I just have this feeling like something's there, and I'm like looking at it, and I would never sleep. I just always looking. I was sweating, and oh gosh. I just never slept. Honestly, never slept, and I was petrified every night. And this went on for years, and I didn't have the courage to say, "Mum, I think there's a ghost in my house or a spirit in my room," or I just they laugh at me. Yeah, they laugh at me. They laugh at me like we're talking about like just I'm fear of being mocked basically. So I said nothing. I just got on with it. It was difficult, and every night I'd hear noises, I'd hear footsteps coming down the stairs. It's just so obvious. Like if you walk out of here, I can hear your footsteps. It was like that. I'm like, what is that? And I'd walk up.
Was this since the Ouija board?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
I was just checking into whether that was like just something that you'd felt.
Never before.
Wow.
Never before.
Okay.
And I'd hear noises, and I even had the courage that I'm going to go out there and have a look, and there's no one there, like, because I'm thinking maybe got broken into, somebody's there, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a dark time for me because I'm thinking I'm really young, I'm a kid, you know, I'm thinking I'm scared.
And no one actually speaks of something that I'm seeing. Is it real? Am I
Well, I couldn't see anything.
But let me go check. There's nothing there. Well, I
can't
speak to anyone about it because
I can't. Fear of being ridiculed.
And then am I crazy? Are they crazy? And then you just lose perception.
So I'm alone. So no one else is reacting to this.
Well, the problem was that I thought maybe I'm spooking myself out. I need to just think of something else, and it was the same thing all the time. But I'd always have the same thing, and I'd get this. The energy was so powerful from that corner, and I'd just be looking like this. I wouldn't even want to blink. I'm like, just like, I'd always face towards it, so that if I hear within a split second, if I do fall asleep, when I do fall asleep, I can see it straight away. I would never turn my back on it ever. Yeah. But it was not a nice feeling. I'll tell you that it was not a nice feeling. Anyway, moving forward with this situation, so I hear this all the time. I'd even get to a stage where I almost would hear steps. Oh, that's just a ghost. In my head, I'd say that to myself. Oh, that's just a ghost. Like, gosh. And one time, my cousin's wife, they're separated now, but we still keep contact. You know, I don't know what it's like with other cultures, but when they come over to stay, they're from London. They're miles away. I don't speak to them like that, but they came over to stay, and they have my room, and I'll sleep on the floor, my brother's room, and stuff, Ringo's room.
Yeah, you host and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not defensive. Now look at me, gosh. No, so I remember the next morning, and she said to me, my cousin's wife, she said, "Rick, I don't want to stay in your room anymore. Again, I'm not staying in your room." I'm like, "What for? What do you mean?" Like, she goes, "There's something in the corner where your wardrobe is." No way. Because it's a dark entity. There's something wrong. There's something wrong in that room, and I can't stay in that room. And I was like, "What are you talking about, you weirdo?" Like I just knowing full well what it is. Yeah. And I was like, flipping out.
Like, so that's a second person.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
And that's got to be deadly serious that she felt like, because no one's saying that to a kid. Like no one's.
I was a bit older then. I was like maybe 16 and
but
maybe.
But even then, 15. I think if it's your it was your auntie.
No, it's my cousin's wife. So
okay, so older than you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were older.
I feel like you wouldn't want to be like, oh, there's a dark entity in your room. Yeah. You just kind of.
There's about a 20-year difference in age, by the way. They're older than me, so it was almost like my auntie in a way. I grew up thinking that my cousin was my uncle, and he wasn't my uncle; he was my cousin. You get that sometimes.
Yeah.
So she's like, I can't, there's something wrong in your... She said it in front of my brother as well. I'm like, Jesus, like, wow. Like, and from that moment on, I thought, damn, Now, just to add a bit of context, her dad, who's passed away now, God bless him, he was a high priest, Christian priest, and he used to perform exorcisms actually, which was weird. I found that afterwards.
What?
I went to his church once, gospel church. Really nice it was. I loved it actually. It was really uplifting. Not that I'm any particular faith or whatever, but I went there one time with him, and it just loved the music. And it was a great day.
The energy was good.
Yeah, amazing energy. Loved it. I actually loved it. Genuinely loved it. I grew up on gospel music actually, so I loved it. I love gospel music. Not just that, but that was part of it. But yeah, I didn't know this, but he used to perform exorcism, and I think they're in tune. I think, and with certain kind of energies. I think I would get that kind of feeling. But I thought, damn, like she knows what the hell's happening here.
Yeah, she's more in contact with.
Yeah, and finally I got the courage to tell Mum. I said, Mum, I need to tell you something. Asian families, we don't really talk about certain things, in general, like girls, or even though it's different now. I brought that taboo. Like I just talk about anything now. It's something I'm happy about. Like I don't know like any other culture, but we don't tell Mum and Dad we love them. That never happens in Asian culture. Right. It doesn't happen. Okay. Honestly, you speak to an Asian person, they probably will say, "Oh, I love my mum and dad daily, but I don't tell them I love them." Like we just don't do that. I tell her every night. I tell her I love her and my dad every night. My dad was here, so I just want to break kind of, Yeah. But anyways, I finally got the courage to say, "Mum, I need to talk to you," kind of thing. I said, "I think there's a spirit in my room, like a ghost kind of thing." And she's like, "Really?" She believed me straight away.
Did she?
Yeah.
Was that surprised to you that she believed you immediately?
No, because my mum's super cool.
Yeah.
Like she's super she's just one of them people.
Shout out to mums.
Yeah.
Listen, I know it's my mum, but I don't think I've ever met anyone like her. She's super. You knock on my mum's door tomorrow and say, "Oh yeah, my friend of Rick's. You are in the house. Yeah. The food's ready. The bed's ready. Everything. You treat like kings and queens, and it's dangerous because you don't even know who they are." No, it's fine. Come in. If you're full. Yeah, try this. No, I'm full. Shove it down your throat. Like no, just try it. You'll be fine. Like, having none of it. But that's what they're like. They're really, really pure like that. And they're lovely people, mum and dad. But yeah, she believed me, and she said, "Right, we're going to go and speak to the local priest, who's Father Nigel at the time. Really nice guy. Only straight up the road, just up there kind of thing." And he came over and he blessed the house, with holy water and stuff, and a few times, and I still was getting all the stuff there. I was thinking, what's happening? So we had it a few times actually, but we moved out of there. But the reason why I mentioned that is because that was, whether I like it or not, that's something that I went through, in my life, right? And I think we've all got a story to tell, haven't we, right? No doubt. It's not just me. I've got a weird thing going on with me or whatever. It was something that happened in my life, and I'm definitely not a negative person. I'm all about the light and stuff, and a lot of weird things have happened as a result of that. So the way I got into making music, is that I used to wake up in the middle of the night with original kind of melodies in my head. And I thought it was really, I'm photographic with music, you see, so I've always been like that. And I didn't know what it was, and it's like, that's pretty, I like that. And nothing ever happened from that. So, I thought one day I'll try and make music. I'll try and recreate that kind of beat, if that makes sense. But I felt like I'm a very bad sleeper now. I think I probably always will be. I think it's down to kind of what happened previously.
Yeah, it's shaped.
But what happens is, though, this has come to me somehow, these melodies and stuff, and I started making music, and I made my first beat, and I was like, wow, I can't believe it. I actually made my first beat. It was the most amazing feeling in the world. It was called Mano a Mano, actually. It was a pirate theme, actually. But anyway, so I made this beat, and I thought, well, it was a very dark beat, a lot of darkness in my beats, and that's come from there. Not to say that I'm a negative person, but it is what it is, If that makes sense.
What was the process back then in terms of music coming to you? Did you say you were?
I would literally wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah.
So what? I want you to carry on, but what is your sleeping routine look like? Because you say you're a terrible sleeper. What does that mean? Okay,
so I have something called sleep paralysis.
Okay. Oh damn! I've heard of this.
Yeah. Have you heard of it? Or?
Yeah. No. Look, I've heard of it.
So I only know it's sleep paralysis because I researched. I went to my doctor and they said, "No, I thought I was having heat fits." Yeah. And they said, "No, you're not. We checked you out. You're fine."
Yeah.
but I know what I'm having.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not
You're living
stupid.
it.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
So
I know what goes on at night.
I researched it. So what would happen to me is, it still happens today, but I know how to control it now. I've diagnosed myself and healed myself. I'll tell you how to do it as well. Maybe it works for you and you guys if you have it. But so sleep paralysis, for anyone who doesn't know what that is, for the benefit of the video.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Well, my interpretation of it anyway, what I know, my limited knowledge, I guess, is, I'll be sleeping and all of a sudden I would wake up. My mind is completely awake, 100% awake.
Yeah.
I'm conscious that I'm asleep, but my body is completely sleeping. I can't move. I can't do anything. I couldn't even open my eyes.
Right.
So my eyes were closed, and if we just have a moment of silence, for example, we'll hear other noises, the trees, the heaters, whatever, anything.
Yeah.
I can hear everything. I can hear the conversation next door and the TV, everything. I'm completely awake, but my body's asleep. I'm thinking, what is happening here? Am I about to die? Is this the last day on earth for me? What was my last memory of the argument I had last night? I can't believe it was just put into context now. I'm thinking,
So that's the cycle of thoughts that your brain is doing while you're in the state.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't believe I had that. I can't believe I was such an idiot. Yes, saying that I didn't mean that. And
It's almost like moments of reflection.
I'm going.
Life flashing before your eyes.
It's a moment of judgment. I actually think I'm either dead or I'm about to die.
Yeah.
That's the thought. It's the most scariest thing. But what makes it even more scarier is that after a few moments of that, I start to have a sound of nothingness, like white noise of nothing, and it gets louder and louder. It's like a rumble, and I'm thinking, I can't hear myself think now. I'm thinking, what is happening? This is my time now. I've conceded. I'm dying. I'm dead now. I've conceded. Like this is the first time. Like this is the next stage now.
Yeah.
I've died or I'm dying. It's my last few stages. And I've not died. And I'm absolutely petrified. Like I'm just like, wow, what's happening? Like, and I'm counting my breath, which looking back at it now, actually, which is a good thing to talk about it, is it's almost like a meditation in a way. I'm counting my breaths. I'm counting, okay.
So bring yourself to a calm state.
Yeah. To get my strength together to jump out of it. That's my aim. I want to get out of this. I'm
It's like
scared.
Composure. Let me just.
I'm not going to come to you guys and say, I was great. I just snapped out of it. I was petrified. I was zero. I was reduced to nothingness. I was empty. I was nothing. And I was just, and I just snap out of it, and I just get up, and I'm sweating, and I'm alive. I'm still there. I'm thinking, what was that? And I'm afraid to go back to sleep again. And this would happen quite since then as well.
Wow.
And yes, but I'd always have, when I finish that, when I jump out of it, I'd have a melody in my head, a completely unique melody that I've never heard before. And I always have music in my head all the time, like constantly. I'm very musically minded like that, and so this would happen quite often. And even though I knew I can snap out of it, I still felt it was my last day on earth.
Yeah.
This is it.
You can't just shake that.
Yeah.
You can snap out of the feeling of being detached from your body, but you can't snap out of the thoughts that have been going through your brain.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense.
So it still happens now occasionally, but I know how to control it.
Yeah.
It's just by just keep myself cool all day. That's why I'm in shorts.
Yeah.
You'll always see me in shorts, always, like no matter what the weather is. If I'm cold all day, my hand's always cold. Because I just figured, look, I'm always, I'm hot when I jump out of it. I'm sweating. I'm really hot. My whole body temperature's hot.
Yeah.
So I figured if I keep myself cool, maybe that might do something. Because the doctors won't want to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it stopped since then.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Occasionally I'll have it, very occasionally. But when I have it, I still think, gosh, this is it. You can't help when you're in that mode. You're like stripped of everything.
Yeah.
You've got any ego, any arrogance, any whatever it is, self-belief. You have zero.
Yeah.
It's like you see the guy, killing people, and he puts his gun to your head, you're thinking, I'm nothing. I'm just forget everything.
How do you perceive that now? Like, if you have experiences like that, because you mentioned before that it can be seen as like a meditative thing, because you have to get, like, counting your breathing and you have to make peace with the fact that it's happening. So when it happens now, and you say it happens occasionally, is it still the same sense of like sheer dread, terror, and fear, or are you do you find it easier to like navigate your way through
a moment of acceptance.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, okay, it's happening again. I know the routine is.
There was a phase of that, but I still feel like it's probably the last. This might be the last. If I can't snap out of it, because I have had occasions where I think I'm going to snap out of it. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go bang, and I've not done it, and I feel completely drained.
Yeah.
I've not got an energy juice now.
Yeah.
There's one occasion I remember that I was literally like there for a long time because I couldn't get my energy back, and it was so scary.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I tried to snap out of it, and I once because I didn't do that. I just lost all my energy, just drained everything.
Right, okay.
So it's like neutralize yourself,
Yeah.
but do it right. If you do the process.
It's like a game of chess, basically.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
Yeah, it's like a game of chess. You got to make sure the timing is right and everything is right. And
So you have that, then that's followed by music.
yeah. So you asked me how do I see things now. I think it's a blessing. I think everything that's negative is a blessing because without trauma and without difficult times in life and things that are just unfair and you don't kind of understand it, it still doesn't make sense. Without that kind of hardship, should we say, you can't possibly appreciate things.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives me a better appreciation of things.
Yeah.
A perfect example, I went too much into it. My father passed away in 2019, soon after I came back from Japan. And I just thought, why? He's not even, like, that shouldn't have happened. And I'm devastated. And even today, even every day, I struggle with that. And I guess anyone would do. And we all will go through that, or have gone through that. But it's been 3 years now, and 3.5 years, and I have this sense now where I always say to my son, Will, like, there's always a positive out of every negative. Always. Sometimes it's hard to see, but you'll always see it.
You just find it.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, well, I need to take my own medicine here now and listen to myself, because where the hell is this positive about my dad dying, for example, or somebody passing away? But right now, I feel... I look back and I think about my dad, and I feel so grateful that I've had the opportunity to have a father who's had those memories and those experiences. And although I'm devastated, of course I am, I feel so grateful to have known somebody like that, and I treasure that as my sacred kind of moment. And I'll use that to harness everything I do with my own son, with Will, and anyone else I meet and stuff. And the goodness that he did in life, and my mum still does, and I try and imitate that, and that's how we keep his legacy alive, and I think that's my way of looking at things. So that's just not just with that, it's anything it's negative. I think it's a blessing. It has to be a blessing. It will be in some way, shape or form, no doubt. There we go. So I mean, with the Holy Ghost, just going back to that, a lot of things have happened there, and the music came straight after that, and I started to, I used to just literally stay up in the middle of the night, like, my boxers, my t-shirt on, like.
So the best music is made.
I'm very creative at night. That's my most creative time, and my creative kind of, what's the word? Juices. Yeah.
They flow.
No, I'm really, really like on it. Like they just come to me like that. So I had to think of a name, and I thought the Holy Ghost is probably the best thing, because the ghost is the negative side, it's a positive, it's a balance of energies. Holy is the positive, and the ghost is the negative, and it's just having that balance in life. Exactly, and there's a duality right there. There's the ferocious wave, and you got the calmness of the Mount Fuji in the background. And
I see you. Look at you with your metaphors. Nice.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Everything's got to... I even say to the missus, like, something might happen. Oh, things are so... I'm like, don't worry about it. If there's something bad now, that means something good's coming. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't even worry about it.
That's how you see things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's hard to, because, we all have our, moments and kind of thoughts of doubt and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
thinking, oh
of
gosh,
course.
well, is it really? Or like I always used to say to like, my son and everyone else, like, you know, when we die, like nothing, like that, they live on, like they're there in spirit, you know, in consciousness, and that's what I believe. But when Dad died, I was like, is he really there though? Like what the hell? I can't. I don't know actually. Like I've been saying it all this time. I'm a hypocrite. Like, am I a hypocrite? Like, but you know, I don't think I am, because I do believe in things like that. There's a lot of stories that have come from that, and I've got my kind of recognition that I know he's about. Yeah. So it gives me peace of heart. So yeah, no doubt. So the Holy Ghost is just a balance of energies, and it is something that happened to me. And it's part of my life. Rather than just put it in a box somewhere and not talk about it, it happened.
Yeah, and pretty much like wearing it, like embracing it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's part of my experience. And
well, exactly. Why not? And there is a positive out of it, because I made music out of it. So there's been a positive kind of thing out of it, you know, event or situation out of a negative situation. So I just try and harness everything.
Yeah.
You know, be organic with things, and you know,
Absolutely.
that's my thoughts, my thought process.
Yeah. No, I gotta hear your music.
Oh gosh.
I'm quite curious. Unless it's for self, obviously, I'm not gonna make you, in case you create it.
No.
Play it now. I'm joking.
So I did a remix of Kumbaya. I'm joking. No. Yeah, I'll play it another time.
Is the music for you? Like when you're making music, is it for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too much into this, but I was signed to, you know, a big record label, made, you know, my idols basically, but I never got paid. I did a little bit of it, and then I started making music, and there was supposed to be a Holy Ghost album coming out, and I was just doing bits and pieces, and that's when my spiritual seed came along. So, Will, you know, so like I say, it's not my. So I had a choice, really. That's how I thought. That was my thought at the time. Like I can't invest all my time there and not be in his life. Like I wanted to be in his life.
Yeah.
So I had a choice to make, and not really realizing, but I just followed my heart. I always do that.
Yeah, this is what
I know you guys have spoke this previously about what you follow your brain. I always follow my heart because it never lies to me. We have a feeling for a reason that goes into like ancient teachings as well. So I always trust my gut instincts, my intuition, and
Do you think your gut and your heart are the same thing?
my gut and my heart. I think I'm figuratively speaking when I'm saying my gut.
Yeah.
But that feeling. That feeling comes from the heart, I
in the
think.
pits of yourself.
Yeah, that comes from the heart.
Yeah.
You know, when you walk down the street and you think, it doesn't feel safe here.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason.
And for whatever reason.
So I
like to pun it. I'll do it. I always trust my feelings.
Yeah. Because that idea of like following your gut and then crossing the street and not knowing why, there could be no one following you.
Just
It used to be a
intuition.
thing that used to like bother me as a kid, actually.
Really?
Yeah, when we learnt what the butterfly effect was, we had like one random ethics class when I was in primary school, and it just sparked off this whole thing in my mind of like, oh my god, you really, like anything could happen at any moment. You know, this idea of one tiny thing can happen, and it's like, it felt like things were just happening by sheer chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can get run over.
You realizing that
this
I'm
could
not really in control?
Yeah, so like a lack of control made you be like, okay, so you can't really do anything with your brain to try and control these things. Like I can't be like, okay, so this is what time the bus schedule is, so I'm only going to go out when the bus isn't going. I know the bus has already passed, which means I won't get hit by a bus. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't map things out like that. You just have to trust something. And if you're going to trust something, you may as well trust that feeling that you can't really explain. Just that feeling of like, I think I should go. I think I'm going to leave here.
Do you think religion is a good introduction to us actually following our spirit, our intuition, or because I feel like it touches on knowing that aspects of things? If that makes sense?
Yeah. I think it depends on who's teaching you.
Well,
I think it really depends. But this is the thing. So yes. So because your question is, do you think religion has an impact on that idea of trusting your gut or trusting your soul?
Like understanding that
I think it can.
understanding that there's a higher power, so you're not fully in control of everything.
Yes, but again, it really depends who's teaching you. Because I was like an atheist for so long, for like years, just because I was raised as a Catholic. So I went to like Catholic school, Sunday school, all this stuff. But the people teaching me...
Sorry, did you become atheist because you're rebelling against the idea of this because of who was teaching?
Because of how it was taught.
Right, okay, so I see the chain reaction.
So it's not necessarily about the message, it's about how it's being taught. And the way it's being taught is don't ask questions about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's almost like, as an adult now in hindsight, that's just a lazy teacher. That's just someone who doesn't...
I think question everything.
Question everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Question everything.
Why?
Why?
Just why?
But why? That doesn't make sense. And
I think
from a teacher, when I was a kid, with a room full of other kids, I think it's just one of those where it's like, oh, just because. You know, like that.
It just is.
It just is. Okay, stop now. Or like you're being rude, and it's like, what?
Or at least just make some sort of narrative about it. Try explain it, find a way.
Yeah, and if you can't, try again. You try again because maybe you'll just learn something from that. I had terrible teachers of religion growing up.
So then you detach from the idea. Okay.
Do you think? I was going to say, do you think that everything happens for a reason? Because I'll say I think it does. Yeah. No matter what our thought process, I think there is a kind of design to things, and if it's meant to, I remember just even buying our apartment, and I was like, Mama, I hope we get it, and we hope no one else outbids us or whatever else it is, and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, listen, so if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Mm-hmm. If it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's not meant to be.
You just find the positive.
What about that? So everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. What impact does that have on free will then? If everything happens for a reason, so everything's premeditated, is kind of what we're saying. Where does free will come into that? That's always been my debate.
But see, I feel like, sorry, can I just shut this in there? I feel like that's the duality of it, if that makes sense.
No, go on.
Okay, the reason why I'm saying it's a duality of it. It's like, if you're aware of that, it's almost like you're gonna try harness that, if that makes sense. So that's that reason. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me try again.
See, now you're the teacher in Sunday school.
No, I just said let me try again. No. I didn't just say, okay, I'll move on. I'll try over here. Okay, so if everything happens for a reason, right? For those who believe that, there's an element of them willing to express themselves because there's that understanding. So it's almost like it's a give and get. Okay,
so you're saying because everything happens for a reason, I can do whatever I want.
Yes.
Because it's already set in stone.
Exactly.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay.
So that's the duality of the two. It's almost like that's a license for you to actually, whatever pops into your head, maybe there's a reason for it. How far are you going to explore it? If that makes sense. So that's why it's a duality.
Yeah.
So it's like if you believe everything happens for a reason, if you do understand the concept, I don't think you're not gonna want to travel. You're not gonna want to try something new. It's like, oh, let me see what's going to happen if I put this here. And it's like, and then therefore it's like your own growth happens without you even realizing, but that's also the reason.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really, really hard mentality to fully get behind, is that everything happens for a reason, because then there should be no anxiety to do or act in any kind of way. So in answer to your question, I love the idea that everything happens for a reason. I don't think I've convinced myself that that's true though, because I'm still conscious of but what if I do that, and what if does my move not impact the next move, and is there a knock-on effect? And
that's I
don't know. Well, go on, because you believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But just listen to you guys now and actually having to think about it properly, because I don't really think like that. I'm just very organic with that kind of stuff. I'm thinking I try and do good. I try to, I want to be a better person, that's for certain. Far from perfect, so much I want to do in my life, for my spirit, and just
that's what makes us beautiful.
Yeah, what. I try and do a good deed a day, and I love stuff like charity, and I just want to help people. I think that's why I'm on this planet, actually. That's what I think. But I think if I'm to believe what I've just said, then I'm going to just do it anyway, and whatever happens. But I'm consciously trying to think of if I see someone who's struggling, I want to be there to help them. Just in the door, somebody coming in the apartment or whatever, or anything crossing the road or whatever. I want to be that person. I'm desperate to be that person because I want to help people. But is that already happening, or is it already written for me, or is it just, am I doing that? I don't know. Maybe I'll leave that book open. One thing for certain though, I won't be too stuck in my ways. One thing for certain, I just try and do the best I can, and I'm only a baby, you know. I need to be old, and I need to be. I mean, I'm 44 years old, right? So I need to be about 4,000 years old to know what I want to know and learn what I need to learn.
Yeah.
So I'm a baby. So I'll happily
absolutely.
say, hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'll leave it open. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's not even a case of being wrong. It's just a case of being willing enough to be open to the idea that someone else's
You could be
opinion
wrong.
Well, yeah.
That's it.
You might be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So maybe so. Like even with that's just been said. I'm like, it's not even a case of being wrong. Yes, it is. I think we can go back and forth on that. I don't know. I just like the idea of being able to explore that, because I've never been able to truly get behind the concept that everything happens for a reason. Not truly, because when I deeply think about it, I'm like, there's so many things I consider. I like to think that there are checkpoints along the way, and when you get to those checkpoints, you know that feeling of deja vu. And it's that I don't know about you guys, but I try and break deja vu every time, because I'm like, no. I don't actually. It doesn't sit quite right with me when something is happening. It's like a reminder of not to be stuck to deja vu. I don't know what it is.
I've got a theory of deja vu actually, but
what's your theory?
we'll talk about it in a bit. I'll let you
convince. What's your theory?
Oh, it's a long conversation. Okay. It's deep. It's deep.
Yeah.
But
we'll come back to it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the reason why I said we'll come back to it, and please put a pin on that.
I pinned it.
Okay. No, because obviously, I think the everything happens for a reason perspective or thoughts might not resonate with you, and I hear you, but I feel like there's also an element of life shows you certain aspects of things, and the only way out, well, it's not the only way out, but your way out is to just believe that everything happens for a reason, if that makes sense. So as far as me, example, I lost my dad when I was young. It didn't make sense if everyone around me, and it's like, am I the weirdo? So it's almost like the solitude is understand that everything happens for a reason. So therefore, it's almost like that's what made sense.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's not necessarily like you're just gonna sit there idle or whatever one does.
Yeah.
Whenever they have that perspective, but it's also a place of comfort.
Absolutely.
In the sense of, you know what? Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Maybe my story isn't the same as theirs.
Yeah.
So I need to embrace that. So I need to embrace the reason that, yes. So I'm embracing the reason of not knowing. With the understanding that, you know what, this is my story.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm at. And for me to sit with it comfortably, because it makes no sense. It makes zero sense in the grand scheme of things. But if I do sit with it and I make it mine or my story, it's like, okay, no, everything has happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't supposed to go that way.
Because it's like what you're saying is it happened and I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
And it's very close to everything happens for a reason, but there's more power in what you've just said. So instead of everything happens for a reason, it's like this happened. I don't know what the reason was, because everything happens for a reason. The next question is, what was the reason?
The reason is for
we
what?
can spend so much time trying to figure out what the reason was.
Yeah, but see, this is where I feel like it's continuous. It's like, okay, so in that aspect, it's like, okay, you know what? If I think of it in a minute detail, it's like, well, the reason was to get me to where I'm at today.
Okay, yeah.
So based on how I got where I'm at today, I've been moving a certain way, learning different things. So it's almost like fuel. So as well as making me feel comfortable, it's also fuel to say, if everything happens for a reason, I'm just having a human experience.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not saying we've got nothing to lose, but it's almost like there's more to gain, or there's more to experience, or there's just live.
Yeah, and I think it's that attitude of you which is super stoic to me, and I don't think I have that. He's a stoic, like
I don't even know what it means, so I'm just like, yeah.
It's really hard to describe what a stoic person is, but a stoic person has I believe it's to do with attachment to things. And the attachment is different. So the attachment is like you can love wholeheartedly and deeply, but you own nothing.
Yeah.
Just like I own no attachment to any of these things. I I just feel emotional ways to certain things. But this idea of attachment and like, this is mine, isn't really a thing. So I feel like we talk about the clouds quite a lot, and I feel like, not like you just go with the flow. It's a lot deeper than that, and it's a lot tighter than that. But you are like a unit in yourself, and you have a lot of control over how you deal with your emotions and when you say things and when you speak and when not to speak. I just think you're a very controlled human.
Controlled by who?
Yourself.
No, I'm joking.
You're just yourself.
No, like
just yourself.
No. Yes. We all get into know self, and deja vus do happen. So
that was lovely.
I'm sure we've mentioned deja vu before.
I think
can't remember when it was. But, oh gosh, I don't. See, I study. Well, I say study. I research like ancient history. It's just been probably since Indiana Jones. I'm watching that tomorrow, by the way. Probably since Indiana Jones when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just the explorer. I've been fascinated by that and all the relics and all that kind of stuff. So, deja vu. One of the people that I watch on YouTube. He's like an ancient Kemetic like speaker. He studies Ma'at and the ancient kind of living, the way people lived then, thousands of years ago. But he mentioned something. It's kind of it's another topic as well, but it's kind of interlaced with this, which is, this is going way west now, by the way. So yeah. So let me just say this first. Do we all remember the Mayan prophecy of the world ending on 2012?
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
The world's gonna end on this date.
Yeah.
Well, Nicholas. He's the head, one of the concierge where we live.
Yeah.
You've probably seen him. He's Mayan. He's from El Salvador.
Okay.
So he's Mayan by descent. So I have many a conversation with him, on these kind of things. Yeah.
Okay.
So El Salvador, Mexico, and Guatemala. That's like the Mayan civilization. So we talk a lot about things like that because he's into that stuff and I'm into it. So when I say end of the world, it's the end of an age. So it wasn't what everyone else made it out to be. We've been
It wasn't a physical thing.
Yeah, we've been here 6 times. We've killed ourselves and come back. It's another age. But this one in particular is, I'll say what it is and I'll explain how it's supposed to have happened or what the theory is.
Yeah.
So you have parallel universes, right? And they're all the infinite amount of them. And what's happening is that since 2012, an event happened, and as a result of it, it's overlaced some of the parallel universes into ours, and ours into theirs.
Is this your theory or a theory that you're open to?
Theory, yeah. Okay. And I'm still exploring it.
Yeah.
Some stuff has happened as a result of this same theory, which is slightly other things have happened, and I've thought, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
It's messing with my head now. Like, I've got a friend of mine who's just actually started speaking to me at the moment because I told him about one thing that's happened. He's like, he didn't want to accept it. Just stopped speaking to me. But he's speaking to me all right, but it freaked him out too much.
Okay.
He told me to stop speaking. He just didn't speak for days. I ring him every day. I mean, one of my close friends.
Yeah.
But it just messes his head. But anyway, I'll get into that in a minute. But other.
Sorry, I love that. It messed with his head. I'll get into it in a minute.
Well, he's speaking for 3 days, so he can wait. No, so imagine like that's our life here, that's our life there. There's infinite amount of them, and because of something that's happened, I'll tell you now, it's overlapping, if you like, or superimposing, and we're having these thoughts of deja vu because we have lived that life or have had that experience before in another parallel universe, and it's because it's crossing over. We have that feeling like I know what's going to happen now. Like I've been here like before, either we haven't or. And that goes back to CERN. Do we all know what CERN is? I'm sure we all know what CERN is. CERN?
No.
Okay. CERN is it's in Switzerland. It's the Big Hadron Collider.
Oh yeah, this is what. Yeah. I think I was in high school when this was kicking off. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been warned actually by a lot of people like Stephen Hawking and so on. Like, you shouldn't be doing this because by smacking two atoms, you can open up a. But actually create a black hole, which could in theory suck all of us away, and it's over. That's how dangerous it is. But they're trying to find the God particle, the secrets of the universe, the beginning of time, you know, the Big Bang, whatever you call it, you know. And by doing this, they're finding out more and more and more. But they're doing it willy-nilly, just going for it. And they've got to be careful. They've been warned by a lot of protests about this, and even like big people like, you know, like Stephen Hawking was saying, you shouldn't be doing this. This is dangerous. They know what they're talking about. They know about all these kind of things, and they're just doing it. And what the theory is that they've done this, and it shook everything in the sense that we're now like our history has changed. All of our history has changed. Now you might think, well, this, like I thought, well, what do you mean? Like, what's changed in my history? I know what's happened. I know what. And he had some examples there, and he was showing them. And I was like, he's talking crap. Like it's not real. Like he's making stuff up here. Like he's gone a bit too far now. I respect him, but that's like just silly now. And when I looked into it, I'm like, actually, that is the case, and it freaked me out. Completely freaked me out. I'll give you an example of it. So, by the way, it's not just these. I'm going to give you some examples of some like films, for example. Go, carry on.
No, it's something like with the Mandela theory.
Yes, Mandela effect. The Mandela effect. Yeah. That's what it is. That's essentially what it's called. So, I think a good example of that is, have we all watched E.T., for example?
No.
E.T., like that's the star.
Well, if you haven't watched it, then forget that.
The alien in the basket, they're trying to get the alien home. I know the theory of it, but
okay. Maybe it's best not go into that, because if you haven't watched it, then you won't be that convinced.
Yeah.
That, I haven't seen it anyway. And even another example, maybe. Okay, do you remember Snow White? And was it Snow White, where that witch is in the mirror, and she says, what does she say when she speaks to the mirror?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah.
Who's the fairest of them all?
Yeah. So, are you sure she said that?
No, I'm not, because I've seen this. I've seen this before. Like, it's not actually mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah, it's not. It's magic mirror now.
Magic mirror on the wall.
I know it's mirror, mirror. I've seen it. Okay, so just go back to E.T. just for a second. I've watched that as a kid. Yeah. You know, it's a big film. We always used to copy him. What he said, that iconic moment, he points, he goes, E.T. phone home. He doesn't say it no more. He says E.T. home phone, which doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense because, like...
Okay, so this is either what you're saying, where history is changing. Yeah. But the opposing force of that is that, like, we just exist in phones now. So we don't go and check sources. Well, I say we. Yeah. I don't go and check sources anymore. Like, it's a bad thing to do. But, like, I exist on my phone. I have my phone here, and things just happen. So it becomes this chain of, like, and then he said and she said and he said and she said, and, like, things do just get blurred along the way.
Well, they try to dumb us down, I think, as well. The powers that be try and dumb us down.
It's working.
Definitely. We're talking, I mean, we're going to the conspiracy stuff now. We're talking chemtrails, we're talking about the pesticides they put in our fruit and veg. All this stuff is the fluoride in the water, everything. Cheers, by the way.
Filtered.
That's why I'm on point today. Thank you. And it's like, I think they're dumbing us down. Definitely. And I mean, there's so many more things. I mean, I'll give you an example. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the perfect example. My favourite... Sorry. Yeah, my favourite... sorry, guys. My favourite cereal growing up was Frosties. Yeah. Love it. It's my favourite. Tony the Tiger was the best.
They're great.
There you go. He's now got a blue nose, and he's always had a blue nose, this tiger. He's never had a blue nose. I'm sorry. But he's never had a blue nose. But it's the thing that we're laughing at. But I heard it and I thought, that's...
What do you mean he's never had a blue nose?
Like, if you look back...
I thought he did have a blue nose.
If you go into your local Tesco's now and look at Frosties, there's a tiger there with a blue nose on him. If you go back in the advert 20 years ago, he's got a blue nose there now. He's never had a blue nose. He's never had a blue nose.
I'm convinced he did have a blue nose, though.
It was my favourite thing, I know. So I just I don't know. Okay. I know he had a black nose always. I'll give you another example then. This is something that I know really, really clearly, because this is Will's favourite, my son's favourite favorite thing growing up. He loves Pokemon. As a matter of fact, he's 26 years old now. He's 20. Even now in his work, his avatar on his team, professional, is flipping Pokemon. Pikachu, having Capri-Sun. Now I've bought a million things for him, and he's always had millions of toys and everything. And we should know that Pikachu is yellow and whatever, and his tail, he's got a black lightning bolt on it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that no more. He's never had that, and I know he's had that.
What do you think is what do you think that is though?
In another parallel universe, Pikachu never had that little lightning bolt on his tail.
So it's not necessarily rebranding in between. You're saying that's the overlap.
Yeah, it's just changed our past a bit. But the only difference is, I can't prove that, because if I look on Google and look at the old Pokemon, the Pokemon games, or I go to a game and I see the Pokemon Teddy, or if I go back in old adverts and stuff, you never see it. You can't find it.
What are we saying he doesn't have?
So you had
the
zigzag.
The zigzag.
So, yeah, the black zigzag on his tail. The thing is, I know that because that was Will's main thing. Will's my life. He's everything to me.
Wait, what thing on his... He did have a thing on his tail, didn't he?
Yeah, I feel like there was.
He had
like a zigzag.
He had a black zigzag, but he has nothing now.
That's all. When you say Pikachu, that's all I'm seeing is the black.
Yeah,
then I can't remember where it was because I'm like, was it on his back?
No, it's his tail. His tail. He's got a zigzag. You can find it because people have drawn it now to show you from the Mandela effect or whatever. Let me try and find it. 1 sec.
That's kind of how I remember it. Can we put a picture here?
Yeah. So people know. Like, wait, what are they talking about?
Let me try and show you.
I thought it was like that. In my mind, it was like that. He had like a black square thing on his tail.
He had a.
But then there's this version too.
That's the one he had there.
Yeah, but was there something on his back that was?
I'm not sure about his back, but he didn't have that no more.
Right.
But the only way you'll know that is if you lived through it and you knew that was the case, and it's just my word now. Mm-hmm. But this is Will's like. This is like his everything. Yeah. Even now, I rang him up when I heard about this, and I said, "Yo, Will, I need to speak to you about some deep stuff.
Serious.
Show me your toys.
You told me your toys. Get your Pikachu out. No." And I was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "No, nothing's wrong, but I just found out some stuff." No, he's worried. Like, what's wrong? Like something's happened. I said, "No, nothing's happened. I just need it deep. Because what is it? Tell me now." And I spoke with him. "Oh, I know about this." He goes, you don't know, Rick. This is deep. He goes, "This is the biggest bull ever." He goes, "We all know." That's my man right there.
He's my boy.
And but there's so many. But we only talk about things like this because this is stuff that we remember. There might be other things that we don't know and we don't look for. So perfect example. Let's just say that door there has got 3 hinges and you've got screws in there. They might have nails in there, but we'll never look for it, so we'll never know about it. You know, might be the minute little details that we don't even look for. So, but I'm convinced there's something going on. Yeah. I don't know what, but I'm looking at what he's saying. I'm thinking, how do I even like? What's the?
Yeah. What do you do about what does that? First, what does that mean? Second, what do you do about that? And the third thing is is it us? Are we remembering wrong?
But isn't that the biggest?
Is that the point though? Like that's the thing where it gets like, okay, we're either remembering it wrong, or we're not remembering it wrong. We're talking a giant leap.
You've got things like the pyramids and stuff, right? Biggest wonder of the world and all these different things. The biggest wonder of the world was how is the whole world forgetting something? That's the biggest mystery of mankind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but something you just know because you just know that is like Will's Pikachu was the one that really messed me up because I know what Pikachu looks like and no one's telling me he ain't got a little black thing on his tail. Sorry, but it's true though.
Because it's so minor, because it's such a minor thing. It's like a jovial discussion, isn't it? Like it's like did he have a thing on his tail? But then it's like now we actually don't know what the truth is about that, and that's a seemingly small thing. But if you apply that to things that steadily get bigger and bigger,
so
it's kind of a worrying theory.
Yeah. So then that's basically what you think a coincidence is, really. I mean, sorry, deja vu.
Deja vu is, from what I understand, what you're trying to say is that because these things have overlapped and changed our history, but within that, there might have been some things that have happened in another life of ours, in a parallel universe, which we haven't done here. But because it's overlapped, the memories were still it's affected our consciousness as well, if that makes sense. Okay. Which is quite interesting.
With that theory then, how do you feel about deja vu? Like when you have a little bout of deja vu, how does it make you feel?
I had it today, actually, and we all have it, and I'm like, this is the thing, you see, I had a deja vu, a couple of days ago, and like I told you, I'm photographic with music, as far as my memory is concerned, and I had a song in my head, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew everything. I knew this. I was humming it to myself and singing it to myself in my head, like I know the song, but I have no idea what the song is. But I knew exactly what it was, and I thought, what is it? I've never had that because I know exactly what the song is, and I was like, it just threw me off. I don't know. It's got me thinking though. So I'm just trying to figure things out. I'm not going to say one way or the other that I think this is exactly what's happened. It's a theory that someone's put there. I've given you 2 or 3 examples. There's hundreds of them that popular ones that we know.
And I feel like I bumped into something along those lines. Like, wait, what? It's a whole mind beat. It's a whole mind fuck. That's like, wait, what was it?
It's just weird.
I like that you phrased it bump into, because that's what it feels like on the internet now. Like you bump into certain things.
Oh, yeah, you're just going like, wait, what? That looks familiar. Wait, what?
Did it not? Because I saw the other day they were trying to do one about Fruit of the Loom. The brand.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one, yeah.
You know how it's got the little, like, conch thing? It's not a conch, but it's like it has that little, looks like a croissant, the little thing. And the fruit spills out of it.
Yeah.
It's not there no more, is it?
No. And they're trying to say that was never there. The little...
Yeah, it was just almost like the thingy bowl.
Yeah.
It was almost like a fruit bowl.
But it was that shape, wasn't it? Like a little crescent moon. Yeah, so they tried saying it wasn't there. And because there's been so many of them, I actually followed that thread for a while. So like, Fruit of the Loom went on Twitter and they were like, what are you guys talking about? Like, that's never been a logo. And they tried to show logo development. And then loads of people had like photographic evidence of like, here's a photograph of this logo at this event. And it's like, there's the little, like, you're not going to, and people was interested in you saying this, because in this like thread, people were like, you're not going to do this to us again. And people were doing it in a jokey way, like, you're not going to gaslight us into what we remember.
We're not tripping.
Like, not this time. So people were kind of
we know what we know,
I was just reading it thinking it was quite humorous how people were handling it, like coming for Fruit of the Loom like that. But with your theory attached to it, it's quite interesting that people were like, you are not going to tell us what we remember.
Yeah.
It was just really
how dare they say that?
That they were getting behind it and being like, yeah, guys, this has never been a thing. Because even I was like, come on. I know that one. Fruit of the Loom.
I've been tempted to walk into...
I know that you know that I know.
We've been printing on T-shirts. We know.
Well, but people are dumbed down though, so they don't really pay attention to little things. They just accept it.
Yeah.
Not bothered. No.
Yeah.
Probably should be bothered.
You reckon?
I'll tell you another one that really got me as well is that I love board games. I must be honest. I do love a board game. Probably my favourite one is it's 2 actually. Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs, which is an old one, but Monopoly as well.
Yeah. Oof.
I like Monopoly because I like to I turn to a different person.
So
just ruin people's lives. Like, give me that money. Like, I'll have your house as well. And they're like, you're just you're not nice.
I like to play with kids and just remind them of the battles they're about to face.
I went deep with mine. I used to bully Will. If you've ever watched this, he'll know. I used to crucify him and I said, right, he's out the game now. I said, well, you can still play.
I'll give you a little nugget.
I said,
I'll collect tax.
If you give me one of your chewing gums, you can be my you can be my financial advisor. You can take the money when I say give him the money. So I employ him. Yeah.
There are no rules with Monopoly.
No, I just threaten him. If you do that, I'm taking your pillow away. Enjoy your sleep. I ain't laughing. Like, enjoy your sleep.
It's really not here.
Nothing wrong with that because he's young, he can't do anything, When he's old, it's different.
That's true Monopoly right there. That is the true conglomerates. That's what they do.
Yeah, no doubt. But the thing about Monopoly is that the Monopoly man no longer has a monocular. Now I've got an old-ass, tacky, crusty Monopoly game with the receipt still in it from when I bought it. And I went straight underneath the ottoman bed, pulled it out, and he's not got the monocle on it anymore. He's always had a monocle on it. The man with the hat. He's always had a monocle on it. Always. No longer has it.
I feel like in my head I can see him with it. I don't know why, unless I just...
He no longer has a monocle. And I'm like, you're not doing that crap to me. No chance. No one's telling me that.
Are we the problem?
On the corner.
Are we the problem here? We had a monocle?
He had a monocle.
Yeah. And he was like
running.
On the go, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
That's it. He had a monocle. He no longer has it.
Like physically on your body,
on my
no
one,
has it.
My physical one, he doesn't have it on there no more. And I rang up. Well, it's here as well. He goes. That's everything just changed. Like I'll show you a picture of it. I'll send you a picture of it when I get in. Like, and I'm like, it looks weird. Like, where's your monocle? Something looks weird. Like, and I'm not pay attention to it. You just open it and you just want to get on with it. When you look at it, thinking that is weird. Like, he's always had a monocle. He no longer has a monocle. There's a lot of these things.
Yeah. So with that sort of theory in your mind, what does it tie in with knowing self in terms of the spirit? And I hate to bring it to everything happens for a reason, damn it. But like, you know how, I hope you can understand how I'm drawing the two together. Because obviously, if there is a parallel universe, it kind of like, can the other exist as well? Or the other idea or the other theories of there being a creator and us beings having the spirit and the gut feeling and I hope I'm articulating.
I just don't know what the answers are to things, and I'm happy to be like educated or to be proven wrong or to change my view on things. Like my spiritual belief system, for example, is kind of like, well, I believe in certain things, and that's what I believe. But where does this fit in with it?
Yeah.
You know, where does it fit in with it, and does that almost contradict what I believe? Is one right, one wrong, or can they both be right? I don't know. I'm open to that. I'm a free spirit like that, so I'll take in whatever. It's difficult to kind of quantify, really, isn't it? Because if that is the case, then like I believe in the creator, for example, of some sorts, I believe that we all have a frequency and a vibrational frequency, and we all emit that frequency and that energy. This is what I believe, and the universe picks up on it and it provides always, whether we are conscious of that or not. Even if I don't believe in that, that's what I believe, and. I've put a few. I've tested it a few times myself. Like to think, is that the case? Let's just have a little experiment, and it's worked. It's working now as we speak. But I won't go into too much detail. But I'm going through a bit of a situation at the moment, like we all are, I guess. And I've been very organic of it, thinking it will work out in the end. It will work out in the end, and it looks like it's going to work out in the end now. Cool. Even though I'm really in a bad place now, like with this thing. So
you trusted in something?
Yeah, I've left it to powers that be. I was very casual and nonchalant about it, and they're like, "Why are you so calm about it?" I said, "Well, I believe that everything will work out in the end." And it always has done. Like I'm not had loads of things, but it just seems to work out in the end. Because that's what my spirit. That's the energy I'm giving up. I want to be just. I don't need anything.
I see that all the time too, though. Like, when has it not worked out? When things get a bit stressful, it's like, because this idea of like something not working out is just down to ourselves and like how we perceive this idea of failure, or something that's just gone really, really wrong, or when we've been down and not been able to get back up. Because to even be able to say that means that do you know what I mean? Like you survived. You survived this far. So like. Like what else you've got? Like when has it never actually worked out? Is a really nice thing to just remind ourselves from time to time.
Yeah, but do you think it's sometimes the reason why sometimes maybe we may struggle with reminding ourselves that? Do you think it's got to do with we are earthly beings, but in terms of the ego and all the other the other stuff that make us beings, I guess, because I guess we all go through that. It's like you know what I mean? Like. Do you think? No, okay. Do you think the conditioning or all the other things make other people not know if they will be okay, so therefore they stress out and not know if it actually will work out.
Because you don't have a natural gauge anymore. It's like a societal gauge of like success.
To an extent.
Or well-being or...
But who's to say anything about anyone? We're kind of living our lives according to what society tells us to live our lives. I mean, we should be ourselves, truly and wholly. And like, what I mean is when you say stuff like being a success or not being a success, that's judged on what they say is a success.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Like, exactly. And I think, for me, I guess from my perspective, being aware of that, I don't really look at that as a success or not a success. So I don't get too kind of caught up in that, but I understand why people would do, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I guess I have them as well.
Of course. We're in it too, so of
course. It's the matrix as far as I'm concerned. You know, it's all bull. Everything around us is absolutely nothing. It's just fake. This is real. This is elevation. This is us as spiritual beings talking for a common good, and we're going to come out of this with something somewhere. For me, that's deep. That's why I jump at this opportunity to speak. I don't know what we're talking about, but I know something fruitful will come from it. For me, that's the most important. That's the most important thing about this here. It's not anything like the YouTube or whatever else it is, or any kind of money that may come, or any kind of deals or anything like that. It means nothing. I mean, we don't do this enough. As a society, we're just stuck on these phones, and we're just looking down. We just start looking up. We just start talking. People can't hold a conversation no more.
That is true.
So this is deep.
And I do worry about the crossover between generations as well. Yeah. And generations not speaking to each other and only talking like speculatively or just talking broadly about each other. Do you know how we have, like, right now it's really weird because we have these clear divides between Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, baby boomers. I don't know the other ones. Like there's all this terminology that puts people in brackets of when they were born, and it's almost like teams. So there's teams of these groups of people. So if you're there, you're gonna think this way. Yeah. So no one listens to each other anymore. So like right now, like the idea is that like if you're a millennial, don't listen to like a baby boomer who's someone who's born in the 60s. So don't talk to someone who's born in the 60s about money because they have no idea what they're talking about. So everything is divide. Like you can't speak to they can't advise you on things because they don't exist in this timeline now. Don't speak to the younger ones because they were raised with the internet. So like they have so do you know
no real life experience.
Yeah, so it feels like they are saying don't speak to anyone outside of your generation because they have nothing to offer you. I've been watching this for a while and it's really, really dangerous. So like what we've wanted to do in this podcast for a minute is like bring people in from bring people in regardless of anything. I think is the point. We're not trying to like speak to younger people, speak to older people. I think we just need to speak and just start breaking down these walls, because these walls are really small right now. They're little fences, little picket fences. But they're about to be massive walls they're building, where we just fight with each other. We don't, do you know what I mean? Like, get off this, you can't have this. We don't respect younger people, we don't respect older people. I'm very cautious of that at the minute.
Do you know what's terrible about that as well is that, you know, people, and I'm guilty of this first of all, you know, I think we all are maybe. I know I am. And I used to think, I remember, you know, growing up I used to think, I can't, you know, to my dad, you don't really know how things roll. Like, you don't know how it is on a street level. Like nowadays, you don't really know. You're like, you came from Africa, like, and just, you know, you're in Nairobi, and you just like, you don't understand how it goes down here like this. Then I found out years later, he knew exactly how it went down there. He went through it himself. Just his version of it. So, for example, I'm not into all that stuff, but you know, like all that gangs and all that kind of stuff that happens. And I'm thinking, and you know, situations that you're in. I mean, in difficult situations like racism, for example, that's very big. You know, I think a lot of us probably have experienced, you know, growing up. And then I found out my dad. He used to have this. He used to be in the. He came over in the 70s from Africa, you know, and came to Leeds, and he used to play football in his football team, all Indians, and they used to be all these skinheads there, and he used to have proper fights with weapons and stuff. I'm like, I didn't know that. Like,
yeah.
So he was outside.
I'm like, oh, this guy, you don't understand what's happened with it. You won't understand. Like, no, he understood. He was in it. Like, I wasn't in it. Like, I was observing.
He was just using different weapons.
The only difference was he had a massive afro.
He was just using
and
different
flares.
weapons.
He looked different.
Yeah. But he knew what he was doing.
Older, so you don't.
Yeah.
So, and that I just think is a huge worry, and I think it's down to each of us as individuals to act on that. And if we don't act on that,
100%.
that's where problems come from. If we're not all speaking to each other, huge problems. And the differences between the generations, I just think like what you just said about your dad, and thinking he's not had the same experience as you. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course he has. It was just things had different names.
Yeah.
Slang was slightly different, but it was the exact same carbon copy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His elders were speaking to him about money, and he was saying, "You don't know about my."
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing.
The picture was just graded different. That's it. It's the same thing, just graded different. One's black and white.
The phone looked different.
But it's humbled me though, because I'm thinking, I said, you don't understand. Like,
yeah.
he didn't say anything back to me. I'm thinking,
This is why.
I feel like such a dick. Like now, I feel like such an idiot.
Yeah.
But he didn't even say anything.
Because he was like that way before.
When Will says something, I'm like, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been there, I've seen it. You don't understand. Like,
but this is.
I'm speaking up, and he's
because if someone said that to us, like if someone says that to us, we're not listening immediately. Because if you say, "Trust me, I've been there," it's like, "No, you haven't."
Yeah.
So we need to change the language.
Yeah.
And it's not like change the language so you're speaking more slang to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's change it so that the conversation doesn't sound the same
Yeah.
It
as
doesn't
it did
sound
to
like
us.
I'm belittling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not, and you know you're not belittling, but just remember how you felt in those moments too, and be like, that wouldn't work with me.
Yeah.
So what would work? And it's just to listen, I think.
Yeah.
Just provide a space where you're willing to listen,
Yeah.
and you can open a dialogue which is fair and it's equal and it's shared. That's the only way, and it's conversation is key.
And
I
that's
put
what-
that hashtag in every single post, but it's key.
And that's what we're doing. It's almost like we're trying to show that we're actually more similar than we are different. So
No doubt.
let's talk to
No
each
doubt.
other.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
But I'll flip it now, because there's the young ones. I was one once.
You are one now. You got to
That's what I just said.
Like,
No, you know what I mean though. Like, and I thought,
Yeah.
you don't know, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can learn a lot from young people,
Yeah.
and we have to eliminate our ego, because we all have an element of it. And I've said this a lot of times that, my lad Will, he's taught me so much, so much. He doesn't even realise. He has no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had things that he's got that I haven't got. I envy that. I wish I had certain mannerisms or ways of looking at things like how he does. Mm-hmm. So they can teach us, but we need to be receptive to that and say, do you know, that's lovely. I wish and accept that we're not just, we've been lived our life, we know more than you. I'm twice your age, kind of thing.
They're younger.
It's almost like, share a picture and I'll tell you how my picture looked at the time when I went through it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Then find the connection.
Honestly, I'm going to talk about Will. He's taught me so much. He's made me a better person. I'm a missus, but that happens anyway. But especially with Will, he's made me a better person. And I'm thinking I'm so grateful for that. And I mean, I'll give you an example of something that really got me. This one sticks to my mind. Will's younger sister, Kaneko. She must have been about 6 at the time. We went for a walk. It was really hot outside. Me, Will, Kaneko, Siani, and my missus Hannah. And we went for a walk. We go to the park, Mm-hmm. And there's a homeless guy there called Chris. You probably know him. He's always outside, like on the side of
Is
Greg's.
he on crutches?
No.
Oh, right.
On Greg's, yeah. Really nice guy he is. I've known him for about 7 years now. I always have a chat with him if I get something to eat or whatever, if I can do. But he's a really nice guy. But it was so hot that day, and we was walking out. I said, "Oh, babe, 1 second, I'm going to grab Chris a drink, because it's too hot out there, So they waited then aside there, went to get a drink, give him a drink. And Kaneko said, she said this like in the purest voice ever, like she really meant it. She said, "Did you just give that homeless person, like that person, a drink?" I said, "Yeah, it's really hot, isn't it?" She goes, "Yeah," because that's so nice. But it wasn't about me. What I mean is like, she was like really like emotional with it, like in the purest way, the purest. Like we lose that when we go older. So true. She doesn't care what anyone thought. She's gonna say what she says. You know what? When I'm older, I want to be a nurse because I want to help people. I'm flipping choking up here like fucking. Yeah, you do that. I'm not fucking. Hay fever getting back in. I was real talk. I was emotional. I was like tears coming out. I was thinking that was so beautiful. And that's the example of the kind of. I bought something for him, but I didn't buy anything for him. That wasn't really the thing. It was the jewel in that whole kind of moment was that purity and that genuineness is what I want. We all want that, surely. Yeah. We can't get it, always get it. We lose it, don't we? We go
lose it year by year by year.
Ego.
It gets chipped away, and this is another reason why speaking and making sure we're in constant conversation with younger people is so important.
They can teach us.
We're right because we're older.
Yeah. It's a full circle, isn't it? You know, you're young, you think you know everything, and you go older, you think, oh yeah, well,
and then you need
I don't know anything. And then you start learning off the. It's weird, isn't it?
Interesting cycle.
Yeah.
Everything has a full circle, though. Killer Priest said it: what goes up must come down. What comes down comes back around again for where it all began. So.
Yeah. So
it's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Okay, that's a nice twist to it. So yeah, let's talk music.
Yeah.
There was a nice twist to it.
So we like to wrap up our episodes by diving into your track of the week, or a track you've been bumping today, or a track that's just resonated with you.
Yeah.
Over the past few days.
Over the past few days? Oh gosh.
Oh, it doesn't have to be like, it could be the week, month, it could be the last hour or something that just popped into your head right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Killer Priest did pop into your head.
Yeah, it wasn't a Killer Priest song though. I've not had Priest for this week though, really. Oh gosh. My stereo's broke, so I can't listen to one thing at the moment. Generally in my car. Yeah. I'm into the Tribe Called Quest, but I think the song that's been in my head really. Gosh, what was it? I've had a few bits and pieces. It's been it's a guy called the Holocaust.
The Holocaust.
He's a native Indian. His alias is War Cloud. It's called Midnight in the Garden of Good.
Okay. Why that track? How did it make you feel? What does it sound like?
It's very abstract, very abstract. Every time you hear it, you hear something new, and it's like it's on a list. I've got a friend who reacts to music. He's from Canada.
I think you put me onto him.
Did I put you onto him? I must have done.
Yeah, you did.
Big up JL Corleone, man. He's only young, but he's really good. Really good. He's ahead of his time. He's one of them kids. He's I don't know how old is he, like 20 years old, something like that.
He's right on time.
But he's ahead of his time. He's switched on. He knows what he's doing. He's a great guy. He's helped me out. You know, part of my process of going. I like because I love hip hop, and I grew up in the 90s when hip hop was, in my opinion, was the golden era. That's what they say. I don't like the newish stuff nowadays, and to hear somebody who's born in like the newish kind of new kind of era and listen to the older tracks, and the feeling, I'm thinking that's what I want to. I can't wait to put a reaction in to say, listen to this. Have you heard this guy before? Yeah. Like you've never heard, and I like that. I respect him for that. You know, he's very cultured with music. I can see that. He's a nice guy though, because you know it's funny because I got onto him through Killer Priest. My first track was a Killer Priest song that I thought, who's rapping to Killer Priest? Like,
you know about that?
Yeah, somebody else. So it was Killer Priest that brought us kind of like, you know, connect, if that makes sense. But one of the things I did was on my first anniversary of my dad's passing, I asked him if he would bless me with a couple of reactions. And he has loads of people asking, you know, and I give him a little donation, you know, only small. For him, it's just like, probably like, I'll do it, yeah, okay, it's cool. And listen to a song, yeah, I liked it or whatever. For me, looking back at it, it was like the most deepest thing ever. I was like, wow, like I just wanted to, I don't know, I can't explain it. Maybe I'm not explaining it properly, but it was a big thing for me. And I really...
Yeah, someone saw you.
I swear to God, I like I said, if we go back to everything happens for a reason, that's something that's etched in me forever. You know, I'll never forget that. Never forget that. You know, and I said to him, I'll help you if I can help you in any way, shape or form, then I'd love to help you. You'll just help your channel grow and whatever else it is, and you know, try and support him if any way, if he needs any help. But it was a moment in my life which I'll never forget. You know, like I'll look back and think, yeah, you know, my dad passed or whatever, but part of that journey was that reaction, and me watching it on that day, on the day of the anniversary of my dad's passing, which is a difficult day because right close to Christmas. It was 22nd of December, so it was difficult being so close to Christmas. But he did that, and it was lovely. It was beautiful, and I respect him for that. You know, I never met him, but I speak to him. You know, but he'll have.
So he's part of that journey too.
Yeah, he don't realise that he's part of my life in the sense that my memory of that, and it's eternal. He can stop making his videos tomorrow and never speak to me again. That will never change. And my feeling,
unless the universe does things, and then it glitches. It's like
forget it. No joke. No, but what I mean, I'll never forget that. And I don't think I hope he realises. But it was such a big thing for me. It's weird because, you know, having to go to the house and, you know, my mum's house, and we're all there. We're all like. It's just weird, like, because like Dad's not here, like it's the anniversary. How do we even feel? It's 1 year. It's just And just one thing I looked forward to because it came there. And I had my own little space there, and just when I watched it, and obviously I was crying, man. But I chose specific songs and, you know, whatever for reasons, and but it was just it was I don't know what it was for him, but for me it was massive. But that's deep, and that's everything to me, you know. No doubt.
Okay. Well,
but the song is War Cloud, Midnight, the Garden of Good.
Cool. Okay.
Very, very abstract it is. So yeah, he's super
excited
talented.
to listen.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Are you gonna listen to it?
Oh yes.
Oh, we have a playlist.
We have a playlist.
Oh gosh.
So these songs get into the playlist. So the playlist is just this amalgamation of the inside of loads of people's brains. Yeah. It's a very human playlist. It's not any genre of music.
It goes through everything.
Yeah, really. It's whatever has resonated with people, and so it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
What about you?
Let's see. Let It Go. We're listening to it on the way here.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, Let It Go. Eric the Architect. I feel like he's underrated. He's actually a member of Flatbush Zombies.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
He was the main producer for. Well, when I say main producer, it's just watching from outside. But yeah, the producer for Flatbush Zombies. I think he was the one who was underrated in the group. I know everyone speaks about Mitch Darko and Juicy.
I don't know the names, but yeah.
But yeah, Let It Go. I can't remember who it's featuring, actually.
I think I've heard this song before, but I don't know the context of what you're talking about. Which
that's
means he's probably underrated, because I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get the feature, because the feature is actually some English dude.
Yeah.
Oh, someone rang me.
Why this week? Has this been...
Loyal Connor.
Loyal Connor?
Yeah.
I know this track.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. It's that track anyway. Yeah, Let It Go. Why this track? Because I feel like... Wait, did I already touch on it at the start? I might have, about things happening for a reason.
Yeah.
I guess it ties in the whole episode, yeah. But Let It Go, in terms of things happen for a reason, and you can't just dwell on any hiccups or something that that's not necessarily going to plan.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can only control so much. But outside anything else, let it go, free your mind, free your soul, let it go. So, yeah, it's Let It Go. It applied all week and today. And yeah, it applied today, really. That's all I can say. Let it go. Just listen to it.
It was a nice vibe when we were in the car. It was a nice vibe.
Nice.
I liked it. You know. Yeah. I looked at it from I guess my producer's ear rather than just as a song lyrics. I wasn't really. I couldn't tell you what he said. I just. You feel music, don't you? You know. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I think it's a vibe. And even the lyrics, like I feel like the hook. Actually, that's what I said to you in the car. I feel like the hook is actually one of the best hooks, or I don't think it's one of the hooks that almost resonates with anyone.
Yeah.
That you can't listen to that hook and not sort of feel attached to it some type of way.
in some kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. So like, ooh,
nice.
just let it go. Even if you don't want to move
it
like
applies
that.
to every single scenario, doesn't it? Just let it go.
Yeah, just let it go. Free your mind, free your soul. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to.
Nice.
And thyself?
I've been throwing it back to 2020. So I've been in my lockdown playlists.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I know everyone had different experiences in lockdown, but for me, like it was just a pause. I hated every single bit of rule abidingness that we had to do. But in terms of me being a human existing in that period of time, I'm very grateful for that space to just exist. And I found so much music and I cycled so many miles. And so like when I listen to those playlists now, it just reminds me of being very free in doing whatever I wanted to. There was no confines of work. So there's this track called Honeybee by Unknown Mortal Orchestra. And it's just great. Like it's just a great track. And I remember in the middle of lockdown, everyone being terrified of like contaminating each other. Mm-hmm. And so my niece was with her mum for months. And it was just to the point where it was like, we're gonna have to break some rules now because like
this is getting out of hand.
This is no joke.
We need to interact.
Yeah. So we just went and got her. Like it was one of those crazy drives where it's like, oh my god, there's no one on the streets. So we just got her, brought her back, and then just the two of us just existed in music for, oh my god, just weeks and weeks of just musicness. And that was one of the tracks that when we sat and listened to it, we were both like, because we were just finding new music all the time. Mm-hmm. But that song just makes you think of just sitting in the garden, just being really, really sunny. And everything was great. So yeah, Honeybee, Unknown Mortal Orchestra is a whole vibe. I love it so much. I couldn't even tell you what genre of music it is. It's just good. It's just very, very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been going back to that a lot this week.
That's good.
It's been lovely.
So I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, I feel like the playlist might be hip hop heavy. I feel like because I feel like every time with me, I just drop hip hop.
Oh, you know when it's your track, yeah.
So, damn, it's like that.
What resonates with you? We're all different, but it's like, yeah.
What you playing, man?
I wonder who recommended this one.
Shooters, everyone the scene. Yeah. But
this is Zen playlist, Zen one.
It's interesting what you said though, like how like that was a really bad time, wasn't it? COVID, when COVID hit. Like it's just no, as in like it was a difficult time where everything was just shut down and everything and whatever. But like I said, there's always a positive out of every negative, isn't there?
To be fair, we met in lockdown.
Did we?
I believe so.
Was it lockdown?
My brain tells me it is because Prince disappeared when COVID hit.
It was because the world was different. The world was very, very quiet. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we met during COVID times.
That's dope.
That just feels not like. It feels too soon. That feels too close to now for us to have met.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That's why.
You reckon?
Yeah. Feels like I met you in 2008.
2008.
But it wasn't. It was 2021 or something crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah,
Put those on the playlist. Yeah. That's what we'll do.
Yes, and it's been a real one. Man, we're going to have to do this again because there's a whole lot to talk about. Yeah. And to be fair, Prince would have liked to be here.
Oh no, good.
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
would have been nice.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay.
Just let it go, man.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like to do this again and maybe talk about ancient existence and.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be
I feel
dope.
like even just more than that, I feel like you're well traveled. I feel like our conversations are always interesting conversations. And
I enjoyed that chat.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot to go back and digest. I hope
you're gonna be going.
Listening.
You're gonna go in Tesco now and look for Frosties. Like, where's that blue nose?
I'm like, he's always had a
Start
blue
taking
nose.
photos.
Have you got the black nose version?
Yeah. But now, on that note, people, if you watch this far, thank you for watching. And quick housekeep, actually. Yeah, we're going to start doing housekeep.
Oh, yeah.
Which is,
well, you're going to start with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess starting from episode 18,
yeah.
I'm going to start doing that, which is do like and subscribe. Oh, I'm doing it all wrong. We're new to this. Like, comment, and subscribe.
People point down as well. Like they point and like and subscribe. They like and subscribe.
Well, if you point down and I point up and you point like that,
yeah,
wherever it goes, it'd be fine, wouldn't it?
It's going to be somewhere. it's going to be summer. But yes,
Yeah.
thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, because it's nice and to interact with y'all.
Yeah.
Peace, love, and wisdom. Thank you for joining. Thanks, man.
My pleasure. It was
I
good.
really like that.
Yeah, that was
It was
nice.
a really nice conversation.
That was good. Thank you.